Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, what I do is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. As you can see right there, today's artist is the Deftones. Before I jump into the Deftones, let me just briefly explain what I do. So, I check out 4 songs from across the band's discography, give you my initial thoughts on the songs individually, then I'll rank the songs for you, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on the Deftones before calling it a day. So what do I know about the Deftones? Well, I did grow up in the 90s, so I heard Change, House of Flies a lot in the mid to late 90s. Actually, I think it was just the late 90s on Much Music, which was the Canadian MTV. And I didn't really dig it. I was more interested in other rock adjacent songs, you know, your Limp Bizkits, your Three Doors Down, your Kid Rocks. I can't remember what I was listening to in the year 2000, but it definitely wasn't the Deftones, and that streak has continued until today, when I have vowed to torture myself by listening to the Deftones, or so I assume. Maybe my line of thinking has changed and I'm really going to enjoy this. So I guess without any further ado, let's get into it. So first song I checked out was off their debut album, Adrenaline, released way back in 1995. And I checked out the song Bored. So musically, this song is actually pretty good. Lyrically though, what is this? Vocally, this doesn't do anything for me. The screamier parts are cool, but they just repeat the same line over and over again. Alright, so not the best of starts, but there is more hopefulness here than I had originally thought. So let's jump into one of their bigger songs, called My Own Summer, Shove It. Okay, so musically, this is good. Lyrically, what is this? Vocally, this does nothing for me. The screamier parts are cool, but they're just saying the same thing over and over again. Okay, bit of deja vu there. Let's check out the third song, Beware, off their Saturday Night Wrist album from the mid-2000s. Note, I skipped over the White Pony album because Change was the big song off that, and I've heard that enough. But that answers the question as to when did that song come out, at least. So musically, I'm going to say this was good. Lyrically, what is this? Vocally, this does nothing for me. Alright, 3 for 3, I guess. Let's get into the final song off their Diamond Eyes album. It's called You've Seen the Butcher. This sounds pretty metal. Alright, so musically, this is good. Lyrically, what is this? Vocally, this does nothing for me. Alright. So now that you've heard my thoughts on these 4 songs, let's rank them. At number 1, pretty easy, I'm going with, because obviously musically, it was good. At number 2, I'm going, the screamier parts are cool, but they just repeat the same thing over and over again, which kept it from number 1. At 3, we're going with, lyrically, what was going on here? And finally, at 4, we're sticking with something had to come out on the bottom. And honestly, vocally, this did nothing for me. Alright, so my overall thoughts on the Deftones are, musically, they're pretty good. Lyrically, I don't understand what they're getting at. Vocally, it didn't really do anything for me. The screamier parts were cool, but they just repeat the same things over and over again. Alright, And before the Deftones fans come for me, I'm going to switch my hat out for the final goodbye. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad. I appreciate you sticking by and listening to me listen to the Deftones. If you love the Deftones, let me know in the comments of how deserving I am of this hat. If you hate the Deftones, well, hate's a strong word, so I guess you could tell me that. But most importantly, what I need you to do right now is cut my wrists and hit subscribe. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat dad signing off. Until next time, I want to hear you sad.